Analytics is not about math. Analytics is about knowing what makes me money, why it makes me money, and how do I make more money. Understanding people, where you're reaching them, why they're responding to you, and also qualifying what are my best source of sales. So, in a recent survey, companies were asked, what is your #1 marketing obstacle? What people rightly said was their #1 obstacle was a lack of strategy. Strategy. From the top saying, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're trying to accomplish, and here's how it's going to happen. That was the #1 marketing obstacle noted by marketers all over the country. Now, I thought it was very interesting that budget comes in #2, but look at 3, 4, and 5. A lack of training or knowledge, inability to prove return on investment, and useless metrics. Well, yeah. Because those 3 things, the lack of training, the inability to prove ROI, and useless metrics, are all symptoms of not having a clear strategy. Now, when it comes to a lack of training, there is an old word that has completely fallen out of use. I think we need to bring it back. It's called velleity. The desire to take action, but not enough desire to actually take action. This is the problem with analytics. People wish they had better analytics. They wish that they had better ways to track ROI, but they don't take the action to make it happen. Another thing, useless metrics. This is what I call hamster wheel analytics. This is where we know enough about our analytics programs that we open up the dashboard, we look at the 2 or 3 numbers that we think we know what they mean, we copy them, and we paste them into a report. And then we send it or present it at the next meeting, and then what happens next month? We open the dashboard, we look for those numbers, we copy them, we paste them, we put them in the report and send it up. And then the next month, we're back on the hamster wheel. We're going over and over doing the same thing. God forbid somebody asks you why the number's bigger or smaller than the last one. This is the copy-paste hamster wheel report. This is what most people are doing when it comes to analytics. This is the analytics freeze. This is when you open up your dashboard, you open up Google Analytics, and you look at these charts and graphs. Gah! What do I click on? Where do I go? What does this mean? And we freeze. The biggest problem with analytics is fear. Here's why we need to take action. So it's a strategy problem. It's really what it all comes down to. You see, the problem with opening up our analytics dashboard and expecting to see something is that we're really kind of expecting Google Analytics to show us a big blinky red warning sign that says, this page stinks. You need to change this page. And we don't see that. But that information is in there. But the problem is if you don't come to analytics with questions, you won't get answers. That's the biggest assumption that people have about analytics, that they're going to open it up and they're immediately going to see things that make sense. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. You've got to customize any analytics product so that it makes sense for your business, for your application, for your goals. One of the big assumptions or fallacies in analytics is I need more data. The more data, the better. And that is a very incorrect assumption. Everyone wants big data. Everyone is in love with big data. We want as much data as we can get. Unfortunately, if no one knows what to do with the data, or how to look at the data, or even what kind of question do we have? If you don't have a question, it's useless. So more data does not translate to more insight. The plug and play. Google Analytics is a plug and play. Omniture is a plug and play. All of them are plug and play, meaning that it's not customized for you and your business out of the box. The next one is accuracy. Analytics does not track humans. Analytics tracks devices. And so every time someone accesses your business through a different device, they're a different user. Now, if they're logged into a Google account all the time, on every device, Google Analytics will attempt to unify that user and that process, and it makes it a little easier. The downside is everyone's got to be logged into Google Analytics or Google accounts at all times. Every analytics program counts the things they don't know differently. They have algorithms that count all these visitors that make these assumptions of connecting the data. Okay? And every analytics program has a different algorithm to calculate that kind of stuff. The numbers will never line up because they all calculate the things they don't know differently. And so there will never be agreement because they're all inaccurate. We're just looking for some sort of consistency. That's the key. Okay, dashboards. All it does is report to you the things you really need to know at that moment in time. It may show you some trends. But here's the key, is not everyone in the organization needs to see the same exact thing. Your marketing team needs to know the performance of pages, the performance of different channels. Your IT team needs to know page speed, needs to know load times, needs to know deliveries or errors. Your management team needs to know more sales, leads, and top-level things. Not everyone should have access to everything. It needs to be customized to what your goals are within your department. They don't naturally lead to action. What they just naturally do is give you a snapshot of what's happening. Now, when it comes to understanding analytics, it takes a number of different skills. This is what we call the golden unicorn. When we can find people that can do these things, they are the golden unicorn of analytics. They are people who understand analytics, but they also understand questions. They come to analytics with questions. If you know what questions to ask that are focused on growing the business, and you are able to show that in the numbers and then communicate it, you are a golden unicorn of analytics. That's what people want.